Carolyn is giving speech number 3 from the Competent Communication Manual. The title, How to Win. Carolyn?
Who's doing my game?
Welcome.
Thank you. I forgot who's you are. Okay. There you go. So who likes sports? Did anybody watch the recent BYU football game on Friday night, the double overtime win? BYU? Who stayed up and watched the very end of it? Oh, some good die-hard fans. So we have a new head coach at BYU. Who knows his name? Coach Sataki. Right, so he came, he's new at BYU, and of course he wants to have a winning team. The last few games have been great. We kind of got off to a slow start. And I want to put forth today that you are a new head coach of your financial team. So if you are the new head coach, what are some things that you suppose you have to do to create a winning team? Are there certain people you need in place? Let's take football, for example. What are some people that you would want to put in place if you were going to have, for example, Coach Sataki wants a winning team? Who does he need to have there?
Quarterback.
Exactly, you need a star quarterback. What else? Linebackers, okay. Who's calling the plays? Offensive coordinator. How about defense? Don't we need somebody on defense? Defensive coordinator, because is the strategy changing as the game goes on? Exactly. So you are the head coach of your financial team, and there are 3 things that we are going to go over today about what you need to create a winning financial strategy. The first is you're going to need a plan. The second is you are going to need a fantastic team. And the third that you are going to need, the third thing, is systems. So Coach Sataki, he couldn't have a winning team if it was just him, could he? Of course not. So if you're going to have a winning financial team and create the right financial future for yourself, is it just you? Are you going to be able to figure that out all by yourself? Of course not. So let's start with the plan. I met a woman just last year. Her name is Nicolene Peck, and she wrote this amazing book. She's considered the family guru. And she wrote the book, A House United, Changing Children's Hearts and Behaviors by Teaching Self-Government. She puts forth a fascinating concept that makes a difference, which is create a 20-year plan for your family. And by creating this 20-year plan, every decision that you make today can determine whether or not it is getting you towards that 20-year plan or not. Imagine you're the head coach of your financial future and you have a 20-year plan. Wouldn't that matter, the choices that you're making today? And let's take, for example, if you were going to go on a trip, would you just decide to plop yourself into this new location for this trip? Or what are some things you might think of to do? Wouldn't you want to read some books about that place you're going? Maybe you'd want to watch a YouTube video about that place. Wouldn't you want to talk to some people that have been there, experience that, and ask them what their experience, what did they like, what didn't they like? So if you are creating a plan for your winning financial team, isn't it important that you start talking to people that have been where you want to go? Isn't it important you ask them, so how did you get there? What did you do to arrive there? What are some pitfalls that you saw along the way that I might avoid? Or maybe what are some things that I need to take with me or do so that I can be where you are? So your financial plan is vital for a winning team. Now let's take your team itself. So would we want the worst quarterback to be on our winning team? Of course not. We want the best quarterback, and how are we going to find that quarterback? We're going to be watching other teams, those high school teams, find that winning quarterback. We're going to watch how he plays, how he does what he does, and we are going to ask if he can't be part of our team. So if you are creating your financial team and you're the financial coach, Aren't you going to be wanting those people to come onto your team and bring those strengths that can help you create your financial team? Let's take insurance people, for example. Sit down with that insurance person. Say, I want to know everything there is to know about insurance so I can choose the very best plan for me that's going to take me where I want to go. How about, as part of your team, you are going to find out how to create your estate plan? How to know that when that time came that everything was taken care of? Would you just go onto your YouTube station and kind of watch how to do it? Absolutely. You could start there, but you wouldn't finish there. You would want an expert in that field. Let's take now the system. Have you ever noticed on a football game that coach isn't just standing there with a few people? Isn't it just a sea of people beside the field in a football game? Absolutely. Now, could that coach create a winning team by just him doing and taking care of everything? Of course not. He has systems. He has the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator. He has a person that takes care of the laundry and the uniforms. So the same thing is true with us creating our financial winning team. We need systems in place. I think of it like this. A few years ago, we had the 8 kids at home, and it was always the chore chart, and it was not working. And I met this woman, and she showed me how if you divide each room of the house and label it a color, and then take every day of the week and determine what day for that color, the task that needed to be done, you had a system in place of a colored chore chart. And it was revolutionary for us. No more did I have the drama about who has to do what on which day. It was, well, are you purple? Are you yellow? Are you red? Are you green? And it changed every day, and we had the perfect chore chart. And life and the house was, well, for the most part, clean. The same is true of your financial team. You are creating systems in place so that life runs smoothly. You know the plan, you know the people that are on your team, and you also know exactly what systems are in place. You can't do it all, nor do you have the time to figure out how to do it all, but you do have the time to figure out the system that will work for you to create the winning financial team. So we have the plan. We have a team of many people. Just like going on a trip, you wouldn't want to necessarily go alone, would you, on a trip? Well, some people might want to do that, but I like to share my experiences with lots of people. I want to know the strategy now so that in 20 years, I know that I am where I want to go, and I want to create the systems so that I'm just not stressed out in a basket case. Life can be great, our financial future wonderful and bright, and we can all be the coach of our winning financial team. Thank you.